Back again. I'm back again because I fucked up a little bit. Right. Did one or two side missions. And I was going to do more. But
Easy. Nice and slow.
Due to the fact that I was supposed to come and do this thing. I was supposed to go do this main mission. And I just ran out of time. I think I have like 2 days effectively to do this. And I decided to go do something else. Those green tags you're seeing on top of the compass there, that's why I decided to go do. I ran out of time. So, fuck it off. I'm going to do this main mission. And I can miss anything. I already know how to do the old.
Oh, mind where you're going.
Whoa.
Fine day for some fine wares.
Is he in this building? Where is he? Where's my victim? Hey, he's in this building. Excuse don't mind me, just coming through.
Hold your horses. What are you barging in here for?
Don't mind me, I'm looking for my...
I'm going to see Sir Ulrich Vavak on a most urgent matter.
As usual. Hurry then.
Where the fuck is he?
I'm sorry.
You want to be? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he hiding from me? Not in here. Not in bed. Unless there's like a hidden wall somewhere I'm not noticing. Oh. Secret tunnel.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me.
Hold your horses. Actually, I have a little...
You've come to Black.
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
No, Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
Ah.
I want to know what...
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, and that will be the end of...
Yeah.
All right?
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let... Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the...
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the... That is, if he's up and about up...
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
Oh yeah, I don't think you could say that today.
Who?
Frantas is... Which reminds me, you'll need... Otherwise, you won't be...
What will I need?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal wait.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn...
Well, no. But I never heard about any...
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even...
What would work?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly.
I'll be going there.
Just make sure.
Fucking little bitch. I don't really care about losing reputation with him. Just a little whingy bitch. The door is open. Freedom.
What are you bargaining in here
A little bit. I'll be back to break in later.
Easy. Easy. Nice and slow.
I'm sure the Master of Mint has a load of delectable coins I wouldn't mind parting with.
Ow! Don't you see me blabbering about?
Let's go find some Iron Eagle. Where is this pub?
Hey,
in
you nearly
question?
ran into me.
Go pub. Away you went.
Be careful. It's not safe here.
Why is it not safe here? I need a wash so I can look chivalrous in my fancy nobleman's outfit. What the fuck am I supposed to be looking for?
Budget! The strongest budget from Kashov!
Vegetables,
They're from you.
mushrooms.
What do you want?
Ah, fuck off, you useless.
You know it, and so does half the town. And that goes for Councilman Nars as well.
Of course he knows. He's the one sending him there.
What are you talking about?
It's gospel. They say she's mad for it. But the old man just isn't up to it anymore. He wanted her to stop pestering him. So he made a deal with Dirk Stein.
Hey!
God bless you, sir.
Good to see.
No bloody way.
You said you were headed to Kuttenberg.
True, true. Actually,
Henry.
pleased to meet you, Henry. I reckon I could teach you some useful things in return.
Why not?
I'm glad to hear it, and it'll cost you something too. But you won't regret it.
You live in...
Not, but be careful.
Well then,
You'd better believe.
Teach me some shit about drinking. I need to kind of get... That's the only real thing he can offer. I think that can... Because everything else is... I already have a high
Most of the others.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Now, what? What do I have to find? Oh, make me run through the mud.
New wares.
Peasant.
Come and take a look. Quality goods.
We've got enough to go round. Anything you need.
Come and take your pick. New wares. Greetings, friend.
There he is. Yeah, shit.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry.
Your demise.
I heard you're supposed to serve at the city.
I am.
Supposing I took the job on for...
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but them count. Why would you want to stick?
I just have to... I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it.
I see. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a... Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you...
Of course.
All right. No need. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up...
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Take care for now.
Oof. That was easy.
God be with you, my friend. Good day.
Franta's not coming.
He crippled his leg. He can't even stand up.
Is it serious?
No, it won't come to that. It just looks like a twisted ankle. A few days, and he'll be right as rain.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll just have to... We can't be without a waiter here when the king himself... So, have you got Frantis...
Sure.
Everything... You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap? And you don't... Without a tunic, you're... And have you forgotten your hoe? It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules.
I didn't know you wanted me to change now. Take the sword off.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you. You've got a waiter's... A tunic you have. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to... Everything as it should. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjit stays dry.
And if
I
the
know
king
the wine.
himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too. But more importantly, do not disturb the council. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you.
Contradiction.
No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
I understand.
Absolutely. I'm a waiter after all.
I
Not some
understand.
street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the king of, but you'll manage it.
I know what I need.
I know everything.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load.
Bastard. Don't take my shit off me. No, I definitely can't fuck things up.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That
Take the white.
Hackenbusher
Take the red.
hand
Think
cannon.
it's this one?
Can you
Are you
believe
deaf
it?
or something? Why?
Where did they get
White.
them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when
are you deaf or
outlaws
something?
have better
Why?
weapons than the
White.
city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it,
Thank you,
Eldris?
waiter.
You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly?
I
The
fancy
merciful
some
King
Tokai.
Sigismund is providing us
Refill,
with
boy.
protection.
There's
Isn't
this
it?
one.
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
I'd like to
What
oblige, but
We're sitting
not
atop
allowed.
the biggest
is
silver
unbelievable.
heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate
some
the
Tokai.
property of the
Refill,
king's
boy.
enemies. Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His
Drink, you
Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
I fancy some Tokai.
Isn't it the same thing?
Refill, boy.
I'm sorry,
So,
sir.
the cleanliness of the
Orders
city
from
is
above.
not
This is
what it should be.
unbelievable.
The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right.
More wine,
We
Master
do have
Bailiff.
the new
I
baths in
have
Hop
enough
Rink,
wine.
and
Come
Adam's old
closer.
ones, but I hear the Hop Rink baths are more of a pigsty.
I need something. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a she thought she could wriggle out of it by
And
a silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city. Go and get it. And
where can I find?
use your and come.
Still just a tax.
And what else would you want?
If the town itself took charge of the baths, the profits would be much bigger. And all the other baths would chip in with their taxes, too.
What? More baths? Surely not.
The need for cleanliness
Nice.
and citizens' health
Whose
should not
silver
be
might this be?
underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash,
So?
steps from the city wall.
I did.
Not so loud. And now go back to your.
Well, and while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as
I
we
fancy
know,
some Tokai.
Gunslin
Refill,
absolutely
boy.
hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I not sure what you're
Sir?
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Thank the Lord.
That. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked
boy,
yours, as I've
cup of
heard,
monastery
then we have a
wine.
good reason to punish him.
What happened there?
I'm going to assume
Leave
that's the
nothing
red
out.
one.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did
Thank you, waiter.
That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows
I fancy
what he
some
wants to
Takar.
tell us.
If
Refill,
nothing
boy.
happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Well, thank the
Those
Lord.
are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal.
Fuck
I could
you.
understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
Be specific, Forsooker. Are you blaming one of us?
Ah, and look
Boy,
who spoke
I'd like
first.
some white.
First of all,
Boy!
it wasn't a duel. It was supposed to be
Fucking
an
woke
honorable
me up,
combat.
that did.
And I didn't even take part in it.
And that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
Don't hang
If
around
you want to
me.
blame somebody,
Vanish, you hear me?
you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
As you wish.
Excuse me.
Sir Ulrich.
Never mind.
Go. I don't want
I
to see you
suspect
again.
the gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us. It's now run by the
Refill,
German
sir.
Menhard.
Do you think I come to the
Who
council
knows
just
who
to
that
guzzle
fellow
wine?
is?
Come
Don't
here.
be ridiculous,
I apologize.
Forsooker. You act like you've never been...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here. I can't just get up and...
All right.
And while you're... Because I'm bored. And because I...
And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the
That was
whole
easy
town
enough. And
garrison.
he wanted me to
The
count the
guards
winged
are apparently
figures.
settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long.
Right, so what?
What if they have one more reason?
My words exactly. The town council...
So, let's see what...
The Emperor Charles, and no one is...
Found you.
Really? And did you count those winged figures?
I counted...
And did you count all the monsters and...
Oh. I thought you...
Go back to...
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Fucking guess.
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off
Hey,
supposed
waiter!
to work in a city under
Pour me
siege?
some Tokai.
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Sir?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
You, lad!
So what if I would?
You look
Hold
familiar
your
to
horses,
me.
gentlemen.
Have we
That
met?
space in the side nave is mine.
When
I
hell
really
freezes
couldn't
over,
say,
my
sir.
friend. Your place is at least
I
2
have a
steps behind
feeling
mine.
I've spoken with you before, too.
insult me?
Or with someone who looks a
I
hell of
think
a lot
not.
like you.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided
Oh, yeah, I
and
forgot
still
that.
provides
A few years
to
ago,
the
you said
crown.
buy
Well,
idols.
I hope you're not
Which you
supplying
were
equipment to
closer to
the
the
army.
altar you were.
If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Waiter,
Those
pour
wrestlers
me
of
red
theirs,
wine.
of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out.
Sir?
Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes,
It's
I had
you?
forgotten.
I
What
see
do we
you've
have
come
to
up in the
discuss
world.
next?
From a bathhouse boy to a waiter, you'll go a long way.
It was a lot more fun in the bathhouse.
There's that Adam bloke. All fucking people that recognize me, apparently. Don't mind me. Just a little peasantry boy.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Look at all that gold. Ginger! Oh, fuck. Problem could arise. Get out of his way, boy. Boy, get out of the way! Give him some wine, you fucking lout. Go on, do it. Don't look him in the eye. Don't look him in the eye. Stop looking. Don't look him in. You can look him in the eye all you want. Just don't look the king in the eye. Just don't do it.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, master.
Like this plan of fights!
He's so aggressive. He's so angry. He's such an angry boy. Huh? Huh? Interesting. Oh, the Lord of Liechtenstein is here. Oh, am I playing as Godwin? Again.
Come now, father. Put a little life into
Ain't
your
your daddy
dying.
boy.
Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father...
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the...
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Unless he was.
How does it feel to breathe free air?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the...
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually
Interesting. Noble. Jan Zizka. Ah, Dr. Rabbi. A priest?
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie?
I feel
Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly...
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have...
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
You'd hit it off.
Or maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way.
For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
I'm a good boy.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
Found out
Will you
about
have one
part of the
too,
game where I didn't
Zayden?
play.
For that,
Didn't finish
there
the
will
first
be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Hi.
Warring against
I'm a drunkard.
quite a
Hey.
different matter than riding out with a company to attack a few bandits.
Hey. John of Liechtenstein, who looks miserable as a goat. What?
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation. I almost lost all hope.
It's not that I didn't want to, but understand that my absence from the city council would have serious consequences.
I understand. I appreciate your coming here all the more.
I'll have to justify myself before the council. And come up with some
I'm talking to you. Introduce yourself, man.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea.
French
If you
man,
are
isn't he?
interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Cutscene. On to the next part of the story. And hopefully soon we can go back to Henry, where he shits his praise.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next?
I don't like you, Jobst.
Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary. And here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess. Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We have Henry of Skalitz.
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours.
There's the bases of those
Couldn't have
goblins
gone any
are
other
fucking
way with
massive.
so many of us here.
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
Sherlock.
As it happens.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies. their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win. Why are you doing? Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Job.
What if it doesn't?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain
Okay.
I'll get...
I wish I...
Drink.
Success.
Greetings to you.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not e- I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good.
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize
for interrupting our conversation.
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then.
We'll talk...
Don't try my...
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creep.
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our home.
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare...
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll...
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires.
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight.
After you.
Well, that's that.
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher
won't sort shit out.
We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Wanker!
Not bad for a priest.
I'll sort you out nicely.
Left arm lower!
Why is it fucking...
You fight like an old hag! Sum quicque tribue!
Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Fine. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse!
Who taught you that?
What's wrong with your legs? Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through! Forgive me, Lord, for what I do.
That was sneaky.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword. Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
Who taught you that?
You don't know
Oh my
which
God.
end of that thing is
What are you
up.
doing? I will do.
Bit of shit out you there, brother.
Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Why?
So Father would be satisfied, only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become...
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much...
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled but now I have a chance to...
And that's why you want...
I've got to...
Aren't we all on the same...
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it in...
After your encounter with... Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless...
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure.
Do I have...
If it's really that
All right, then. It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without...
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after. Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like...
Yeah. All it took was me kicking your arse. What the fuck is this wench?
And that's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
We talk to you, old man.
I need to speak with you.
A man hardly puts it. Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for...
On the contrary,
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the...
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutar.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capel?
He's a youngster still.
He's young.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting of him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain, too, eh? On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Fuck you. It's fucking...
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, I'll be happy. The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop deleting.
Ugh. I hate all this diplomacy.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy...
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained up...
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
There was a catch.
Well, there's one...
There's a catch.
I had to promise him... I don't even know it.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you! And to your pal...
Innkeeper, a beer!
So much dust.
So, Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the
Here's to a...
Let's hope it only two fucking ones.
God bless. Greetings.
Isn't there one other person?
One beer.
You're fucked. Her.
God be with you. There's something I'd like...
God be with you.
Your diplomat...
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on 2 fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support...
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
All right, I'll help you.
Alder, bring them to me. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes at...
Oh, it's hidden in his room. Never mind. All's good. Hello. Hello.
What brings you here? My goodness.
Aren't you a bit...
What's your problem?
God forbid.
But not really.
Shall we...
Well, I'll wait at the...
Distraction.
He caused us a shitload of trouble.
Fuck you, I'm not playing dice with you. Peasant.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce...
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly... Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected.
You're welcome.
As agreed.
Thank you, noble lady.
Yes, quite. But...
How could I refuse?
And to the success of our...
Skip. Let's talk.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
You are proper drunk, aren't you?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But
still trying to figure it out.
We will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
This is bullshit. I just went from one jail cell to another. Fuck. What the absolute fuck?
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Lord Capon should have a fucking stroke. Godwin, you have to get me out of here. I can't marry someone. I'm too young to be married. Oh boy. Meanwhile, in Kuttenberg City Hall, back to Henry. Let's go. Henry, my boy, we have many things to discuss. After a brief change of his diapers, Henry resumes work.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Excuses.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the City Council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on you? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike again.
It just says serve him, doesn't it? Yeah, I know serving the Lord to be difficult task, but serving the king himself might be even more challenging.
We are glad he is not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries. They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas reign brought us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal.
Don't like that, you're staring at.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
I was a good boy. I was a good boy. Good boy.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough.
White it is. Quickly. If Raposh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its
into
use.
an alcoholic here, Mike.
Need be. We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then,
why am I just standing
to
there
a
in front of
victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
I drank with the king. I drank with the king. I had a little drinky poo with the king. The false king, but the king nonetheless.
Surely you don't want to break in?
Roast was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
I couldn't resist it either. The sausages were awesome, delicious. And when those two girls...
Godwin!
Yeah, they are.
About the girls?
Let me talk to you first.
Half of the French court knows.
Let me talk to the Frenchman.
How'd you like
a wine?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my...
Oh,
So you're not too keen enough?
Comment dire? Let us say you still have much. If you try hard, you may have some decent wine to celebrate the second coming of Christ.
I talk to people before, because obviously talking to him is going to advance the story a bit, so let me talk to other people first. Hey, how are you? Hey.
Having a good time? He's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few females worth the same.
I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Don't start any brawls.
Dare get into a fight with it.
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. Leave it out. They wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asked...
Leave. I will not entertain you any further.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, my dear.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army?
All hail Yobst. He sorted out things here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with...
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle Potstein, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look at...
Deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's man.
Hey. Can you imagine running after Lord Hanush? Wait! My old drunken ass can't keep up with you anymore on horsey.
Rather, we didn't you, friend.
Yes, now I will talk with you.
Stultorum mater, sempiter gravida.
What do you need, buddy?
You in need of something, my wild friend.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they so touching. Come now.
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little.
Maybe once.
See now. I'll... Only there's nothing to drink. Fuck.
I've got a tongue like a slice of week-old bread after all that.
Well, get something.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs.
To hell with that keg slop. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh?
You can bet on it.
I don't doubt it.
Get sniffing quick. Where's the booze? Find a jug of wine.
You already said that.
Let's drink and be merry. What do you say? Get out.
A jug of wine he's trying to find.
Right?
Fuck you, Noble.
We didn't end up like nobody knows.
Is it in the building or the entire courtyard? It's in the entire fucking place. Don't hurry. I will suss this out.
Do you get it, Father?
Please.
Please, I'm not a priest. I am a rabbi.
You either ignore it.
Walking sideways.
Bothering you, young man. You should rejoice that...
You should be happy you're about to get married. Ooh, take the red.
The red'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Oh. Oh, here he is. Hurry in that way.
Holy shit!
I'm too drunk for this shit, though.
Can't make it on his own. Let him
That's it!
Drew,
It's done!
Once more, and we can go home! One step back! Stand your ground! Take another one like that! That'll teach you!
Here's Henry. Going as fast as you can. Henry has entered the battle.
God!
Da, da,
Quick!
da, da, ba, 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 da, da, da,
God!
ba, ba.
Good! You let him on!
Back
again,
in,
poor sons!
You're away, you fucker.
I feel quite hungry!
Get him. Hang up on everyone. This is fucking...
I'm not afraid of anyone but God Almighty. He
another day. What's this trophy for? That's Godwin. You saved your brother. Nice. At the pick between one of the two.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me.
Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get... Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What's the matter,
What
Godwin?
happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. Nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Well, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I won't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghout took them.
Where did they go?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope...
So we have a plan to counter...
But, as you can see, our allies are
I'll gladly play dead.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
I was standing a few steps from von Aulitz when he told Sigismund I was pouring them wine, and had to listen to how Sigismund was going to give him Raborsch. It was a horrible feeling, not being able to do anything about it.
And what could you possibly do?
Kill them. Both of them.
My fingers would itch too. Was there any knife flying around? Or at least a fork?
Do you know what that would cause?
The war would...
But at what cost? After Sigismund's death, his army would be cut loose. They'd ransack the city and kill anyone in their way.
Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do...
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. They'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even...
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all...
You want to give up now?
Nobody said anything. We'll treat the wounded, bury the... Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and...
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is...
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall.
They're our allies.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out.
He's here too.
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do.
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with it.
Horrible. So many dead. For nothing.
They dragged Lord Odorin who knows where. And almost killed his son too. Why, Lady
Good to see you both.
Oh, come on.
Is that part of the deal?
Walked out
That
of much
either
worse
save the
scrapes
brother or
laughing.
save
They could well have killed us
Mrs.
all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, they killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most without them, we can hardly get...
We'll figure out...
But how?
Get a grip.
Wine? You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get... Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get...
Actually, at Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want... You'll be more useful if you stay here. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try...
Yeah. Let's go back and kill that prick.
I still insist that...
Talk.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How the...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
Oh, I'll tell you about him sometime.
I can tell you about him if you want. This is not the end. We have to go to... Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
I have to do something very important real quick. Apparently I have to go. So, this is annoying.